So first of all, I want to say, glad to hear that you're back. The Tokuist is back
Yep.
from the grave. Basically, something's come to my attention. To sum it up, basically, I was told that you and Owen were in some like sort of spill of some kind.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you a question. Say, for example, a person that you've been friends with for a while, gets to the point where you don't want to be associated with that person anymore. What is the more reasonable thing to do? Do you block them? Do you just simply stop talking to them? Those are probably the options you might consider. But what if that person keeps on, clinging on, if you know what I mean? Gets to the point where you just can't take it anymore. Do you still block that person? Do you still ignore that person? Or do you simply conduct a plan that would not only traumatize that person, but would also get a bad rap on your end on something that is really insane and stupid? Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm speaking on is something that was brought on to the small side of the Godzilla community. It didn't really had a whole lot of people looking into it. But nah, everything was just very much swept under the rug and just ignored over time. Now, I won't lie to you, this is something that happened a few months back. And over time, it has been resolved. Everyone is pretty much went on with their lives and everything else like that. But I want to take advantage of this and use this as an example for anyone out there that is facing this similar kind of dilemma, and basically to tell you guys as a life lesson, do not do what these individuals did, because what they did not only affected a lot of people's emotions, but it also very much affected their friendships with a lot of people. Now I want to bring in some people here that we'll be discussing here. PacificZilla, aka David, aka the Tokuist, a man that at one point had a lot of subscribers and for some reason suddenly vanished out of thin air. And then we have Owen, the man, the myth, the legend, the man that I was surprised to hear that he was a part of something like this. I did bring him up once in one Godzilla Cringe video. And then of course we have Gfan Studios, the man that very much was relentless into trying to talk to these guys, but didn't get any responses. Now, of course, there were other people in this whole predicament, but I won't be bringing them up, and I'm only simply referred to them as anonymous. In the end of the day, the whole situation revolves around Owen, the Tokuist, David, and Gfan Studios. Now, you may have noticed that I didn't really exactly bring up the details on what GODZILLA and Tokuist did specifically. Essentially, the Tokuist assisted GODZILLA in faking his death in order to avoid Gfan Studios. Now, of course, hearing that, there might be some chuckles here and there, and I'm not gonna lie, it is pretty humorous. The fact that someone would go out of their way to fake their own death in order to avoid a individual that said individual considered those two as friends. It's crazy to think that, it really is. But apparently they did all that in order to try to avoid this person, which in and of itself is insane. There are a lot other ways of avoiding this person or simply ignoring them altogether. Whether you don't like that person or whatever, that does not mean you get to just go out of your way and fake your death. I swear this whole situation legit sounds like something you'd see from like a YouTube prank video.
Hey Metron, they haven't contacted us in 40 minutes. What should I do now?
We should contact them.
Alright, I'll try calling them. Hey, Jake, Daniel, you guys there? Guys? Hello?
I was given screenshots on the conversations from Discord on these individuals, so we're gonna get right into reading them right here. I have bad news, man. I found out Owen died. What? Owen passed? Don't fuck with me. How do you know? I'm not. I DM'd one of his IRL friends, and I asked if he was okay, and he told me he passed away 2 weeks ago. From what? He said Owen had a heart attack. Fuck. Oh man, this is... Fuck, man, shit. Can you show me screenshots, please? Like, I'm all over the place. I can't. It was on Snap. Luckily, the guy added me back, but he had it on disappear after viewing. Fuck, man, shit. This does explain a lot about the absence. Yep, it sucks, man. I don't know what to say. I feel like shit because of it, knowing he's just gone. He liked you a lot before. There's a lot I want to say so bad right now, but I know he wouldn't want me to. Just... yeah. What the fuck? Fuck. This is really... the hustle can't stop. One thing I know about Owen is that he never fucking gave up. You're right, man. You're right. Every time he was all upset or sad about something, he didn't give a fuck the next day. He was on the shit immediately. I helped him become better, but secretly, while he was getting better, I was getting worse. I feel like I let him down for being misrepresenting. Yeah. But now recently, the grind's been back, and now hearing this, Owen won't be forgotten. Fuck, man. This actually hurts. Every day before we used to call all the time, he'd tell me something about the UK. I'd kill for another story from him. Fuck. Now, there's a lot of things to unpack on this whole conversation here. The lack of remorse from Tokuist. It really does sound psychopathic if you ask me. Even though obviously GODZILLA didn't die. And also another thing, reading these out loud, it honestly does seem like Gapester is more like concerned with his image than GODZILLA's. Like, I don't know, I kind of got that vibe. So it seems like from what we have seen right now, it did convince Gapester that his friend GODZILLA did pass. However, a few of his friends from his little group did some digging. They eventually found out that the whole thing was faked. Dude, what the actual fuck is wrong with you? Brother Owen is the one that asked me to tell Gabe that. It's not like I came up with it. Owen knew that if Gabe knew Owen was alive, Gabe would harass the shit out of him. So Owen asked me to tell Gabe that he died. And I did that because I've been in that same position before where I'll block Gabe and then he get added by multiple alts until I give in and unblock him. So realistically, death is the only way to escape the dude. And if that's what Owen asked of me, then I was gonna do it. If he wanted to be a ghost and not exist anymore in the Godzilla community. Dude, you're fucking delusional. There's no way to justify that. If Owen wanted to leave, delete everything, not lie about your living status, you guys are bad people for this. Dude, no way you look at it can you justify it. Well, that's what Owen wants. Then that's what happens. Yeah, I don't agree with it, but he wanted to hide himself from Gabe that badly. And I felt sorry for him, so I did. I 100% doing that was wrong. But there's no way of changing that, so womp womp. No shot, you fucking womp womped. Owen is an adult. If he has a genuine problem, he should handle it himself, not have minors deal with it. You're still a bad person for helping him. Not gonna lie, that whole womp womp, kind of a dick thing to say, man. Yeah. I did spoke to Tokuist about this whole thing, on what his mind was back then. And basically have him explain from his side of the story why he did what he did.
I kind of just didn't want to like be part of it, so I was like, okay, I'll just do this and I'll just end it and then I'm out. But that's not what happened. Because he had already been gone for like a year. So I was like, oh, he's gone for a year, no one's really going to care. I mean, this guy, I didn't know the impact he had on people because, quite frankly, we were like good friends for like 3 months, 4 months, maybe like a summer. Then he kind of just went on his own with the whole Jurassic Park things, drama that happened, and I had no part in that. So I guess through that somehow mixes into why he doesn't want to be associated with said person.
Yeah.
And that's why he left. And then he told me that, and I was like, all right, sure. I mean, I didn't really care. I was like, all right, whatever. I didn't think it was gonna blow up into anything because I thought, that was that. But then because he apparently, I guess, reached out. I think he reached out to like 2 more people or whatever, like to say that he was here. So that kind of stirred things up. And yeah, he wasn't exactly. He told me he wasn't gonna contact anyone else except for me in the community, but then he ended up did. I think he did. So yeah.
Yeah, and what you call it? There's also one person that apparently was really upset about this. Gapester Studios.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the one that was more like open about it. Like when he heard about this whole thing, he was like really upset about this thing happening.
Yeah.
Because like as far as from my knowledge goes, is that Gapester and Owen were like really good friends, you know?
That's not what Owen did say. Yeah, they were good friends, but something happened at some point, and that's why he left social media as a whole. And then he came back and didn't want anything to do with him. So he was like, "Tell him I'm dead." He was like, "Just tell him I died." He's like, "I don't want to be part of this." And I was like, "You sure?" And he was like, "I don't really care." And so I was like, "All right, sure." So I did it, and then all of a sudden, that whole thing boiled down, and he was like, "Oh no, I was just joking. I was just upset." And I was like, "All right, you can't say stuff like that through text and then not say you're joking right after, because sometimes there's like people like me who like don't give a crap enough to like double check if you're sure, and then, that whole thing boils.
Yeah, it's pretty much obvious from what you're saying right there is that you just like kind of just went in there and just kind of just said what you said, and
yeah,
that is pretty wacky. I'll be honest. That's honestly a really like a macabre way of going about like trying to like just like distance yourself from someone and like their solution. I mean, he might have been joking and like might have been in the heat of the moment, but like why go to that extent of like saying like, oh, like pretend I died or something?
Yeah, like no, I didn't agree with it, but I was like, you're my friend. I've known you for like a year. I was like, that's what you feel like,
I mean, isn't that
I'll do
technically
that.
what you did though? Like you agreed to do the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I agreed to do it, but I'm saying is just because I agreed to do it didn't mean I thought it was like right. I kind of just did it because I was like, all right, I owe you something for being my friend, Like I've known you for a year. I mean, like
Now that's
that if you really feel that way,
yeah. And that's another thing right there. You mentioned right there. You're his friend. As a friend, shouldn't you be like, oh, like I shouldn't tell, like, don't be going around telling them that. Maybe you're just upset, and like maybe you could have just like told them like, oh, like talk about it, like talk with them and like just say that you want to distance yourself from them.
I mean, I would have, but at the same time, like said person does have the kind of reputation to making like 5 Discord alts to make sure, like like if you blocked him, he would do what he could to like track you down and like talk, and it was like, and he did that with me, so he kind of, I guess he felt like trapped in the sense that like he was at a point where like there was no escape from him, but he was probably just like he's gonna try to contact me no matter what. So he's like, I need to get out of this for good. That's what from what I see, how he felt about it was, there's no way out of this. There's no way I can cut contact with him because he's always gonna try to like come back into my life. So I need to just fake my death in order to do it. That's what I think his mindset was. And I mean, granted, I was like, I've been through this multiple times, and it's true. He does make many alts to kind of do it, and then he'll be like, "Oh, I won't say anything," and then that's kind of the tactic to get you to eventually unblock him. Then
and when you say the person that makes alts, who is that person?
Gapester.
Oh, Gapester. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, when Gapester's friend over here sent him the info and the screens, Gapester was very much pissed, as you'll see in this screenshot right here. Hey Owen, it's been a while, and this will be the last time you ever hear from me. I don't want any trouble with you, but I just want to say I never expected something like this from you. If it is true that you planned on what you allegedly planned, you won't expect any trouble from me. Just know in life, that's not how you get someone to go away. I never bothered you for months. I was already gone. I would have understood if you had told me. But either way, I wish you the best, despite everything. And yeah, that's really all I can think of that isn't so full of negative energy. Oh yeah, by the way, just know I cleared everything up and put out the truth. Everyone knows you're alive. And I know I ain't an angel, but man, that's all. Well, I will say this, is that Gapester is right. He ain't no angel. No one is an angel in this whole situation. If it is true of what Tokuist says about Gapester, having to constantly send messages to that person in different accounts and all that, I would imagine someone would be very much pissed off and annoyed by that. So, in a way, I can understand why they wanted to, avoid Gapester. But again, faking a death is a huge no-no. And I'm not trying to justify what Gapester did either, because obviously, if someone does not want to speak with you, or something like that, you need to obviously, see the signs. It's very much blatantly obvious that they don't want to talk to you, Gabe. But yeah, honestly, man, this whole thing, madness. It was then that Gapester was sent a message of how the Tokuist and GODZILLA came up with this whole plan. In detail, apparently. Obviously, as you can see, there's some red splotches over there to keep the people anonymous. So let's get right into this here. Hello, Gapester. We are here to tell you what we know and are considered facts. Everything is subject to change, but this is what we know. So it all started sometime yesterday, possibly today. Owen and David make a plan for the both of them to stop talking to you, permanently. David enacted this in the worst way possible, and Owen went along with it. Owen has been inactive, and is a chunky guy, so their plan is for him to die of a heart attack 2 weeks ago. It all goes to hell shortly after they sent it. You tell your close friends, such as Anon, do not get him involved. He is a victim along with the rest of us. We were told Owen died of a heart attack by David, but this lie fell through quickly. We believed it a little, as mentioned before. His heart attack was most definitely possible. Anon is so sad. We break the truth to him. He is upset, but gets over it eventually. I went to message you out of kindness. I wanted to at least warn you of the situation, with making David and Owen not seem too bad by feeding it to you, slowly and understandably. It might have not been the best way to go about it, but I think it was better than nothing. Anon was messaging you, in which I wasn't too clear on what was happening, but I think it was overall the same thing that I was doing. We understand the hatred you may be feeling at this moment. Owen and David did a very bad thing that they never should have done, and I hope you can learn to forgive their mistakes, or just ignore them completely. Me, Anon, and everyone else had no intention of helping David and tried to help everyone in this situation, as it was very messy. It was wrong of us to keep the full truth from you, but your past shows that you would have exploded in rage, and we did not want to be the ones to cause that to happen. In the simplest way possible that a Gfan could understand. It is like when the JSDF used the freeze rays on the melting burning Godzilla to stop the destruction of the planet. It's goofy, I know, but it is understandable. Hard feelings toward Owen and David are understandable. I just hope those hard feelings aren't pointed at anyone else, as we are all bystanders in this awful situation. Improvement in your behavior has been seen. I wish it was seen before I messaged you, as this may have added less confusion to the situation. Good luck, Gapester. We wish you well. Owen may have not had a lot of subscribers or many fans, but he had fans. And obviously they were, from what I was told, that they were pretty devastated about him supposedly passing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't agree with what he did, and I don't agree with myself for having gone with it. That I take full responsibility for. That was not the smart move to go. But I mean, I don't know how he feels about this, because quite honestly, he did contact me a month ago, but because my account was dead, I didn't really say anything. But
why did you end up deleting your account, your YouTube account?
I honestly, this thing itself did have a little bit to do with it. More of like I was just tired of like just drama happening. Like there were some that I was like getting into that had nothing to do with me. I was just drawn into it. So that got kind of tiring.
So like from what this whole experience has like shown you and stuff like that, what do you take from all this?
Definitely to like not, you know, be like, hey, I'll do anything just because you're my friend kind of thing. More of like analyze the situation from three perspectives, like my perspective, their perspective, and how someone would see the perspective like from outside of us two, and kind of just feel like, all right, is this gonna affect everyone positively, or is this going to like only affect one person positively, but leave everyone else in crap? Because obviously Owen's the only one that kind of got out of this alive because no one even knows his like actual login or knows how to contact him. So he's obviously in the clear. But you know, people that he sent out to do this dirty work like me, you know, we're in this situation where like, all right, what are we supposed to do now since Owen just like has himself in exile from everyone else, you know? Like more of just be not do things just also like impulsively, you know, just kind of, you know, just not get involved with this stuff too. 'Cause in reality, this wasn't my problem. And I just kind of pulled myself in there because he was my friend.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
you know.
That's pretty much like the takeaway from that is that like I feel that even if he was your friend and all that, if he like suggests like if he asked you, or like if a person just tells you like, oh, I want you to go tell this person that I faked my death or something like that, even if it was a joke or not, I feel like right there you should have been like, nah, dude, like what the heck? That's like some really like messed up thing. That's a messed up thing to say, even as a joke, you know? Like it's just like
exactly.
basically this whole thing would have been like it should have been taken like a whole different way, basically.
Yeah, 100%.
Now, what are my thoughts on this whole situation? GODZILLA and PacificZilla, aka David, aka the Tokuist, were very much stupid in this whole situation. The whole plan was idiotic, and of course it caused one individual to go into madness, thinking whether this person is actually dead or not. And when they found out about it, they were very much upset about it.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Overall, this is something I want all of you guys, all of my viewers, whether you're young or old, I want you all to learn from this whole situation. Never really fake your own death to your friend, because that won't go well at all for you and for everyone else involved in your friend circle. Now you may be wondering, where is everyone right now? Gapster's doing his own thing. GODZILLA is nowhere to really be seen. I haven't really found his channel. However, the Tokuist has brought back his old channel again, even though all of his videos are gone from his original YouTube channel. But overall, after talking with the Tokuist, he's very much learned from this whole situation. And I hope that he doesn't do something stupid like this again. Overall, there's nothing really much else to say. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Tell me you guys' thoughts in the comments down below, what you think of this whole situation. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this. I'll see you guys in the next one, and sayonara.